hello, YouTube.
I'm Antar.
And I am Lucky. And this is going to be our How We Met video. And it's been decided that I'm going first. So, this is going to be complicated simply because I can't tell you the definitive time that we met only because we grew up in the same neighborhood.
Right.
So that being said, I don't have an exact moment we met, but I can tell you that when my best friend Michelle said,
Which was kind of awkward because, and maybe we'll tell this story later, was also my best friend. But we had no idea that our own personal best friends were,
each other's best friends.
yeah.
But I keep telling him I don't know how she's spending time with him.
And I don't know how she spent any time with him because we were always together.
But I guess she was really good with dividing her time up.
Yeah, so we'll get into that later, but right now it's about us and I guess how we met.
Yes, and I guess we'll give her a shout out, but we haven't talked to her about this yet. So after we talk to her about it, then we'll give her a shout out.
But still all love. All love. Remember love.
Sure, because we end up together. It's all right. Anyway, so, but the first time I remember him saying his name or his name being said and I respond, to it, was I was about 12 or 13 years old, and Michelle was like, yeah, Antar and I are going to so and so and so. And I was like, well, I know Antar. And she was like, how you know Antar? I was like, girl, we go to the same church. We go to the same, everything. So anyway, so she was like, oh, okay. So, but I do remember when saying his name, it felt good saying it. It felt good hearing his name. Because the next time I remember saying it, it was my mom. We're at church, and we were leaving church, and my mom said, we were passing each other, and I said, bye, Luck, and I said, bye, Antar. And then my mom said, who is that boy? And I said, that's Antar. Like, you don't know who he is. We've been going to church with him for years. You don't know who he is. Anyway, so. And he was the godson of the first lady of the church. So, I'm like,
That was Mother Shirley.
Yeah,
I love her.
Shout out.
Love her.
So anyway, that's why I can't tell you the definitive answer, but that was the first time I remember saying his name.
But I think dualistically, if that's a word, that was the first time I remember actually
noticing
noticing you. And I was there with my two sisters, my oldest sister who always took us to church, and my younger sister. And I told her that day, I was like, because she asked me, she was like, who is that? And I was like, oh, that's Lucky. And she was like, Lucky? I was like, yeah. I was like, that's my boyfriend. And she was like, no, it ain't. And I was like, yes, it is. And even to this day, I guess I'll go ahead and be real about it. In all honesty, I don't know why I said that, but it just came out. It was very free flowing. I just said it. So maybe I was speaking things into existence back then. I don't know, but
it wasn't his first time saying that, y'all, or his last.
Fayetteville Street.
Yeah,
my friend on Fayetteville Street.
It was a few gardens, actually.
Was it Few Gardens?
Yes.
Okay, it was Few Gardens. I said the same thing. It was, what was her name?
I can't remember. I know she came from a big family, like families that, they have a million of them.
Was it Felicia?
It might be Alicia or Felicia, like that, but yeah.
But I remember telling her too. I guess I was just claiming you all over the city, but I was like, she was like, Lucky, and I was there to pick him up, and we were gonna hang with some friends.
It was close to my birthday.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah, that's my boyfriend.
And I think I was turning maybe 15 then, 16.
Maybe 15. Well, 14, because I had just got my license.
Yeah.
So I was 16.
Yeah.
So you were like 13.
And he was on with the car at the time.
Right.
Because he was older.
So we was out there.
Yeah.
Even at young, we were out there. But that's one of the first times that I remember, noticing or acknowledging to other people that I knew you.
But mind you, in between all this time, we had a club called the Power Company in our neighborhood.
Durham, North Carolina, Power Company. Everybody knows the Power Company.
Full City.
It went down.
And so I know I was too young to be in the club, y'all. I know y'all gonna judge me, but don't.
No,
Don't
no,
judge
no.
me.
And first of all, this got to be a no judgment zone.
Yeah, it has
Because
to
we're all here, I believe, for the experience.
And I was really mature for my age. I promise you, I wasn't just this, scatterbox all around the world.
Right. But here for the experience, there should be no judgment.
Yeah. So anyway, every time a slow song came on, like from the age of, I can remember being 12, 13 in the club, and we would dance together from that time until we actually started going together, literally.
And I guess you're going to say the last song. Anytime the last song came on.
Well, it'd be the last song per se, it'd be the slow song.
Which is usually the last song at the club,
Well,
Especially in gay
sometimes,
clubs. They won't play slow music until
But sometimes
they're about
they
to send
did.
you home.
Sometimes they did, and even when
Okay.
they did, you would. Is this going to enter?
I hope not.
Even when they did play in the middle of the club, we still would
Right.
dance. Anyway, so and then one time I was about 13 years old, and we were at our friend Mike's house.
Oh,
who is
yeah.
not the same person as the other person we're talking about.
Right.
And Anton was outside sitting on his car, looking all crazy and good. And I came outside, and he was like, "I'm so lucky. When you gonna give me a chance and stop playing around, stop being all,
I don't think I said a chance. I was like, when are we going to stop playing? And
Yeah.
Go ahead and do this thing, is what I said.
That's kind of what he said.
And here again, I'll be honest. I don't. It was me, but I don't know what was driving me to say it. Because I guess some of my conversations, or a lot of people's conversations, can be pre-calculated. You think about what you're going to say to the other person, be it so that you don't disrespect them or so that you keep them engaged. But for whatever reason, you have a preconceived idea or thoughts about what you're going to say. But it was no thoughts. It was just what I was saying. But it felt good. It felt natural. It felt real.
And
like
so-
what I was supposed to say. I'm sorry.
I said, Anton, you are not ready to get in a relationship. I was like, you got too much way too much going on for me. I was like, I didn't heard about you. I've been hanging with you all these years. I know you, boy. And I was like, I'm trying to play me. So I was like,
Because we were young.
Yeah, we were
and
young.
when you're young, you talk to, different people.
yeah, I
To
understand.
get just
I'm not knocking you for. I'm just saying that it was, that was my, reasoning behind it.
I mean, it's transparency here, but I just want to be clear,
So anyway, we had this best friend. I mean, this good friend, I should say, named Alton, who was an adult at the time, and but all the young gay children hung at his house. We were a very good, close knit community. We had. I mean, I was never in the closet. I never had to be. It was he was never in the closet, something like that. Anyway, so we used to go out. We go out of town, like to Atlanta, Charlotte, DC.
But and we were all from Durham, but we protected each other.
Oh yeah,
we
it was
were
a unit.
really
We were a
like
family.
like a family. And I would say I was probably like the stepchild. They hung together, but I would come but whenever I came, I was welcomed with open arms, and then I would leave and do my own thing because I had my own solitude thing going on. But we were really a unit,
Yeah,
We
we had a clique.
We really
Yeah.
took care of each other.
Yeah, we did. And so, by this time, I'm about 16 years old. And so I was staying with one of my friends named Eric Lamont. He had two names. And
Much love to Eric.
Yeah, he's rest in peace. He's passed away now.
Much love.
But I was living with him, and Antar was on his way to come pick us up to go out to the club. I can't remember. It was like a Saturday night, I believe.
Right.
And I had just went shopping for clothes. I just got like this whole new wardrobe, and I was changing my whole look. I was doing a Turner Braxton look, so you know how it was back in the 90s. Anyway, here again on Judgment. And so
Judge-free zone.
And it just coincidentally, this is the first time I ever took a drink. I know I told you I was going to the club all these years, when I was younger, but I never actually took a drink because
No
I didn't.
drinking, no smoking.
I didn't believe it that because I felt like that was violating my temple, honey. Anyway, so my friend was like, "Come on, try this the first time, blah blah." And I was like, "Okay, fine," because I was really going through a traumatic time in my life. I had decided that night that I wasn't going to be looking for love. I wasn't going to, be searching for it. I said, I'm determined to just let it come to me.
And ironically, it wasn't that night for me, but it was maybe about 3 days or 4 days prior. I had the same type of epiphany. I was like, I work at the club. I'm doing all these things, but love was just not working out for me. So I was like, that's just something I'm not going to deal with right now. I'm going to deal with self. And then after I get self together, then maybe I will tap into that. But I said, I was at that point trying to accept that this may be a really lonely existence for myself. All that I had seen and all that I experienced in my short years at that time.
And I think that was a fear of mine too, because that was really my family's only reluctancy about me being gay. Because like I said, I never was in the closet. But a lot of my key family members said to me, well, you're probably going to end up by yourself. You're probably not going to ever be happy, have a family, all this kind of stuff. So, that was playing in my mind too. So anyway, that night I got plastered. We were drinking, I believe it was sort of a Jim Beam or something like that. It was brown.
Jim Beam, that's old school.
It was brown, I remember that.
Okay.
And it was expensive too, I remember that. Anyway, so she was like, so Antar and our other friend James, because he picked James up on the way to our house. So they came to his house. So
much love to James if you
yes, hey. So they came, and like I said, I was intoxicated. I was inebriated. And so I was showing Antar my outfits. I was like, look, Antar, I got this. It was like I got this like skirt thing. It was like a skirt and a short at the same time. And I was showing him, all that kind of stuff. I was like, look what I got. So he's like, I got some shoes to match that, blah, 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 blah.
Which I loaned you.
He did that night. And so out of nowhere, he just plastered a kiss on me, y'all. Like, he was looking at me real funny as I was talking. Like, I was telling him about my outfit. And I was like, so do you like it, blah, blah. And he was looking at me like, he was looking at me like puzzled.
And I guess that puzzling look, the only way I can describe it is that it was a stillness. And if you've ever had one of those viewer things, like back in the day where you pull down the little thing, you put them up to your eyes and they have different scenes and it turns around. It was kind of like that. And I was just seeing flashes and flashes and flashes. And the flashes were like, and I was telling him as I was seeing it, I was like, it's you, I've been looking for you. I told him where we were going to live. I told him what type of house it was going to be. And I mean, I was almost to the point where I was excited. I was like, we're going to have 3 children. And they're going to look like this. They're going to dress like this. This is the type of furniture we're going to have. And I thought the more details I gave him, the more that he would be able to visualize it. But he was just looking at me like, you have really lost your mind.
So what he's not telling you is that I ran.
Well, that's after I told him, all that I had saw.
Yeah. So I ran downstairs.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just, but that's how I handle things. I had got hit when I was younger, and the first thing I did was run. So I don't know. It's just how I deal.
I don't know how this became a perfect segue
because it felt like when you kissed me, if I got hit by a car. So anyway, I ran and hid beside the refrigerator downstairs in the kitchen. And he was like, you can't hide. This is a small apartment. Like, where you going to go? I was like, oh my God.
And I think I mean, I'm just remembering it. I was walking kind of smooth then too.
He wasn't running.
I felt like I was in my groove.
Yeah,
I was like, wait a minute. This is what I've been looking for in life.
But I was scared.
And I done walked up on it,
When he kissed
I was like,
me,
I done seen the light almost.
See, what you don't know is that I didn't like kissing, period. Like,
at all.
Somebody touching my mouth.
Not even a little bit.
I would have a heart attack if I put their mouth on my mouth. Like, that was just not going to happen.
And that's understandable because he hadn't experienced the Antar.
But when he kissed me, it felt good, and I was like, but
Antar.
I was contributing the good feeling to being inebriated because it's my first time getting drunk. So I was like, if this is getting drunk, why don't I see why everybody do it? Like this is, I can do this every day.
Okay, but you've been drunk before, so was it like the Antar?
You
that
mean
night?
now in hindsight?
Yeah.
No, it was
Of course
you
it won't.
complete the 100%.
Exactly.
But I didn't know this. I thought
That's
it was
what I'm
the-
trying to express.
I thought it was the alcohol. So anyway, so he kissed me. Then I was like, Antar, you know what? Let's just go home. You go home
Yes.
or go to the club, whatever you're gonna do.
And I felt so bad because I was like, go home. I just seen all these vivid visions and I'm on cloud 9 and you want me to go home?
But I said it's my first time drinking.
And I said, I understand that.
I do not like flying off the cuff. I'm not one of those.
We know you
people.
uptight. I understand that.
And I was 16, but I was still mature.
Right.
So I said, no, you go and contemplate about what just happened because we don't want to ruin our friendship. We are friends. We've
That's
been friends
true.
for a long time.
For years.
And I did not want to jeopardize that for something that may have been just a one night stand or whatever.
So I understood that.
So
So,
I was
I got
like-
in my car
Yes,
and
he
I
did.
left.
He did.
And I went home.
He did. And I
And
told him
then-
I would call him the next day.
And the next day he called me very early.
It was early. And he didn't get up early, y'all.
No, I was not an early riser back then.
He wasn't.
But
He woke up, he was so happy. And he told me, who is this? Like, he knew who I was, y'all.
you didn't send me home.
So I was like, I could just hang up if you know who this is. You got so many people calling you, and you don't know who this
I didn't
is.
have a lot of people calling me.
Yes, he did. And so
I might have, but I had the wrong people calling me.
because
Y'all know how that is.
it was so cute. His mom was like, Anton, telephone. It was so cute.
Yes. But fast forward over 22, 23 years later.
Here we are.
And everything I said.
Came to fruition.
Yes, a White House on Michelle Court.
You didn't say Michelle Court. You just said a white.
I didn't say Michelle Court, but I said it was going to be a White House.
Yes.
But I'm just telling y'all, it was on Michelle Court.
It was.
And many children later, beautiful, beautiful children later.
Y'all will be those rook rats later.
Oh, I love my children. And all beautiful. The youngest one, Joshua, is 17. He graduates this year. And we're really excited about that.
Yeah.
But I guess honestly, we have watched YouTube videos, and to watch you guys inspire and do what you do, I guess has inspired us to add our story to the collection of extravagant stories out there. But doing it, to do what you do, it's difficult, beyond any stretch of the imagination.
You put yourself on display.
And for what y'all have done and for how you have done it, I truly thank you. You are beautiful beyond words. And to be amongst you, your presence, just humanity in general, we go through, we fall down, but we get up. Like air, we rise. And to be amongst you in this time, I have to say that I'm truly honored.
I am too.
It's a blessing.
But this video is coming up 20 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
So, we are going to say we hope to see you come back again.
Yes.
And we're going to try to make another video.
And the young people always say, if you like my video, subscribe down below or like us.
That's why you thumbs up.
But we don't know how to do any of those things, and our children are supposed to be helping us.
Yeah,
So
they
that
gotta
hopefully
help
we'll fix up our channel and stuff like that, and we'll be able to do stuff. We're doing this on his phone, and it keeps sending little messages, and we have to keep exiting it out. If y'all keep seeing him reach up to the phone,
Yeah, but it's dismissing the message.
Yeah, but yeah. So hopefully, you'll see more of us, and we'll get to see more of you.
Okay. We love you.
Very, very much. It's an honor. It's a privilege. Thank you.
Mwah.
Good night.